Are you ready to learn how to sew a dress that is super cute, perfect for fall, fits you exactly how you want, and you don't need to know how to read those confusing sewing patterns to do it? Perfect. This video is for you. Inside, I am going to show you step by step how to sew a beautiful pinafore dress like this. No confusing pattern jargon or anything like that. Okay, I'm going to explain everything step by step. Hi, my name's Abby and I help absolute beginners start creating clothing they love. So if that would help you, then be sure to like and subscribe below. And if you want to DIY this completely from scratch to make it fit your exact measurements, then check out my how to draft a pinafore dress here. It walks you step by step through taking your body measurements and actually drafting this to fit you perfectly. Now, if that's a bit much, don't worry. I have a free pattern linked below, and I'm going to show you now inside this video how to print, assemble, and get that going, okay? So let's figure out how to sew this dress together. When we open the link for the pattern below, we're going to see this page, and we can see all these cute photos of what this dress is going to look like. It's so fun and cute. I love it. And as we scroll down, we can actually see here is an example of the pattern, what it's going to look like once we print and assemble it. Good to know. And if we keep scrolling down, we're going to see this link to actually download the pattern. And when we download it, the first thing we're going to see is this big square with measurements on it. Now, this is the first big thing we have to do. We need to print off just this first page and make sure that it measures exactly what this square says. This is how we make sure the pattern is printed off in the right size. Now, when we print, our printers most often are set to fit. So I will try printing with this setting. The paper comes out, I measure it. It's not the right size, and that's pretty common. So when we go to print, the best setting that works for most printers is custom scale 100. So when I print with the first page, just the first page, don't print the whole pattern yet. When I print this page with that box, with that setting, we see that it comes out exactly 10 centimeters. Perfect. Now, if for some reason yours does not come out exactly 10 centimeters, don't worry. Custom scale 100 is really nice because you can change this number 100 to 101, 102, 99, 98. Move this up and down until you get this box exactly 10 centimeters wide. Once you have the right settings and it measures exactly 10 centimeters, then we're going to print off all the pages. Once all the pages are printed off, we can see they print in order, okay? They're trying to make this easy for us. So it's A1, A2, A3, A4, perfect. Now, when we look at the page, we can see this gray border all the way around with little scissors on it. We need to go through and cut off the bottom and the right-hand side of every piece of paper. So just put on your favorite TV show, listen to some music, get all these cut out. Once we've cut off the bottom and the right-hand side of all the pages, we're going to take the first two, and we can see this gray border on the left side of the second page. We're going to line up that edge that we cut on the first page and see that we can push them perfectly together and everything lines up nice and neat. Yay! Perfect! So we're going to line up all the lines on the papers as best we can, close as we can. They won't always be perfect, don't worry. And then tape this in place. Then we'll do the same thing for this whole row, all the way across, doing the same thing. And at some point, we're going to move to row B. When we get here, we're going to do the same thing, except now we're going to line up the right-hand side of our paper and the top. And then we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to line up the top edge of our paper with that gray line and just line up all the lines the best that we can and then tape everything in place. Now we're going to continue this until we've taped all the pages together, and then it should look something like this. Once it's all put together, we need to cut out your size. Now, to find out your size, we need to take some body measurements. If you haven't done this before, don't worry, I have a video right here on how to take body measurements. But if you do know your measurements, we're going to look at the body measurements chart here. We're going to find the size that's closest to yours, and if you don't see your size, go one size up, okay? So that's your size. That's the size you want to cut out in this pattern, okay? So cut out your pattern size for all the pieces. And once that's done, yay, you have now printed off, assembled, and gotten your pattern together. Now the pattern is ready, we need to use it to trace onto our fabric and cut out the pieces that we need for this project. Now I know a lot of you are probably wondering, how much fabric do we need? What we're going to do is measure our pattern piece. We're going to measure the length of it, both pieces, okay? That's how long the piece of fabric that you need to be for this project is. And then we're going to measure how wide the pattern piece is and multiply it by 2, okay? And that's how wide the piece of fabric needs to be, okay? So that's gonna give you a ballpark. If you're nervous, get an extra half a meter or half a yard just to make sure you have enough. And then we are going to take our pattern piece, we're going to lay it on our fabric, and we are going to trace all the way around. And then we're going to take our pattern piece and flip it over along the center line. When we flip it over, we're going to trace everything again. And this is what we're going to cut out, okay? The whole thing, the whole front, the whole back, all in one big piece, okay? So do the same thing for your second pattern piece. And if you are wanting to add pockets to this project, patch pockets can be super cute. I have an entire tutorial on how to add pockets here. So if you want to do that, check out that video, make your shape, get your fabric together. It's all for you there. Okay, but in this video, we're going to talk about the dress itself. Now that we have cut out the front and the back of our dress, it is really important that we stitch along the neckline and the sleeves. Why? Because we are using a woven fabric for this project. It means it's not stretchy. So if I take a piece as a random scrap, just to show you, this is a woven fabric. If I pull it in this direction, nothing happens. If I turn it, pull it, nothing happens. But if I pull this fabric on a 90 or a 45-degree angle, we will see there is some stretch. This magical direction is called the bias. And when I do this in the middle of a big piece of fabric like this, it's not a problem. But what happens if we do this, if we cut fabric on the edge and it's curved or it's here on the bias? Then what happens? So let's find out. So I'm going to draw a line on a 45-degree angle, cut this. I am going to measure a 10-centimeter section, and now I am going to pull it. Now it's not 10 centimeters, it's 11.5 centimeters. Oh no! And this is what can happen when you cut your neckline and your armhole. If you don't go through and stitch it to hold it and lock it in place, while you're sewing your project, working on it, you can accidentally stretch it out. And that's how you get wavy, loose, weird looking necklines and armholes. And nobody wants that. So we are going to, right now, use our straight stitch and about 1/2 centimeter or 1/4 inch away from the edge, we're going to sew a straight stitch. Now for the V-neck, when you get to the point at the bottom, put your needle down, raise your presser foot, and turn your whole project. Use your needle to pivot. Once you're turned and aligned with the second side, put your presser foot down and then keep sewing. Makes this a little bit easier. Then go through and do the same thing for the crew neck, the circular side of your pinafore dress, and for all of your sleeves, okay? Armholes. Once we have sewn all of those, it is now time to finish some raw edges. Okay, now we'll notice on our fabric that if we try to pull on the edge, we can start pulling these fibers out. That'll be messy. We don't want that inside of our project. So we need to finish the edges. Which edges do we need to finish? We need to finish the shoulders and the side seams. The other sides we will take care of in other steps during this project, so don't worry about them now. Now, to finish the edges, to make sure they stop unraveling, we have a couple of different options. One, you can use pinking shears. They're these funny scissors that have like this little triangular pattern. And when we cut the edge of our fabric, we'll see that now when I try to pull it, it doesn't come unraveled. Oh, so quick and easy. But what if you don't have these scissors? Don't worry, you can just use the standard zigzag on your sewing machine. We sew down the edge. The only trick here is that we want to make sure that when our needle does the zig and zag, that one side is in our fabric. And when the needle comes down on the other side, the needle is just outside of the fabric. That way we make sure we're catching the very edge and none of those fibers or threads are going to come unraveled later. Okay? Now, some people don't love this look because it can scrunch the fabric a little bit and it doesn't look super nice. The most important thing here is that we have finished the edge and it's not going to come unraveled anymore. It's doing what it needs to do, even if it's not the prettiest stitch. But if you would like something a little bit neater, you can actually use what's called an overcast stitch. It should look something like this on your machine. And you can use an overcast foot, which typically looks something like this. Now you use these together and those little metal wires actually hold the fabric flat so that way it doesn't get scrunched up as much as it does when you're not using this foot. Okay, so I will sew all the way down and then you can kind of see the difference between using the overcast foot and using the overcast stitch versus just using the zigzag. Now, all three of these options do the exact same thing. Do whichever option you like the best or whatever is easiest for you. Okay, no one's ever going to see this. It's on the inside of your project. Once the edges are finished, this is the moment when you want to add your pockets. So if you're adding pockets, this is when you would do it. So again, I'll post that video here in case you need it. But once you've added your pockets, then we're going to take our project front and back. We're going to lay the right side of our project facing up and to the second piece and take it right side facing down. Okay. When we do this, we call it right sides facing, and then we want to go through and pin in the side seams and the shoulder seams and sew all of these in place using a 1 centimeter or 1/2 inch seam allowance. Okay, now I recommend pinning one side, sewing one side, pinning one shoulder, sewing one shoulder. Because if you try to pin this all at once, you have a very high chance of grabbing a pin when you're not expecting it and then poking yourself. And it's painful. Don't do this. So instead, pin one side, sew one side. Okay, once all 4 of these are sewn, then we want to press the seams open. To do this, it's a really good idea to get a towel, roll it up like I have here, and put it inside your project. That way you make sure you're only ironing where you want, not pressing seams somewhere else and making your project look weird. So we're going to put the towel directly under our side seam. We're going to take our seam allowances, pull them open like a book, and then press them. So many beginners make their own clothes and then they wonder why at the end they look kind of like craft projects. It's typically because they didn't press their seams open. This makes a massive difference, so don't skip this step. Now, once we have pressed these side seams and the shoulders open, your dress is very close to being done. You can wear it, put it on. It's so cute. Now, you want to make sure you get the hem, how long the dress is. Make sure that you like it, okay? If it's too long, cut it shorter, okay? Cut it until you like the length or you're close to the length that you like. And then we are going to hem it, okay? So to hem it, we're going to take the bottom edge, we're going to fold it up 1/2 inch or 1 centimeter and press it in place all the way around. Now, if we only fold this one time, we can still see that raw edge and we can see it's unraveling still and it doesn't look very nice. So what we're going to do is fold this a second time. We're going to fold this another 1/2 inch or 1 centimeter and press this in place all the way around. And now we have a nice, pretty, clean finish all the way around the bottom of our project. Beautiful. Now we're going to sew this in place using our straight stitch. And the only real rule here is that we want to try to sew closer to this side, the side inside of our dress, not the edge close to the bottom of our dress. Because if we sew by this edge, it's just going to open again and the threads aren't going to be holding anything. So make sure you're sewing closer to the left-hand side and then sew this all the way around. And now, oh my gosh, your dress is done except for the neck hole and the arms, right? The armholes. So I am going to show you how to, a really easy beginner-friendly way to finish these, but I am going to show it to you in the next video because you're probably going to want to use this technique on lots of projects, and I don't want to make you watch this whole video again just to get to that part. So in the next video, check it out here, I will show you how to finish those so you can officially start wearing this dress. Now, if you had any questions, if you got stuck on anything, let me know below. And if you ever have a sewing project that you get stuck on, just know that I have a $5 a month sewing club where you can come ask questions from me, get direct help, and hang out with other fun people who are making their own clothes. So if that would help you, all the fun information for that is below. And until the next one, happy sewing!